Active Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis. This time we're taking a look at ticker symbol INFU. That's InfuSystem Holdings Incorporated. This was a request from Levi H. So Levi H, I hope you enjoy this analysis, and everyone else watching, I hope you enjoyed as well. Let's take a look at the chart. So the chart we're looking at here today is actually a one-day chart. Each candlestick on this chart representing 1 day of trading. We actually go back all the way to 2013 on this chart. And it is fitting because this thing does tend to channel, and it tends to channel a lot. Obviously, since we're looking at 3 years, almost 3 years, pretty much 2.5 years worth of data here on the chart, you can see there's a major channel all along here, right between $2.70 and $3. It really loves that area. Now, at one point, we did make this high at $4.05. That was right around November of... Let's see, that was right around November of 2014. We had that high. We couldn't hold those levels and fell down. And $3.60 support didn't hold. It acted as resistance over here, and then over here, support over here, here, and here. So it's definitely a pivot point, but unfortunately it did not hold over here. So we fell down pretty hard and returned to that channel. We channeled here a long time, and then we returned to this channel here for quite a long time. Broke up and channeled between $3 and $3.20 for a while, and broke down back to this channel once again. So yeah, this channel stock seems to love this channel right between $2.70 and $3. And currently we're in this channel again. But let's take a look at this. We did push up, made some higher lows here, and then once again tried to stay above 360, but really couldn't. We even struggled to stay above 320. 320 we couldn't stay above here, or here, or here. So it's interesting because when we break above 320, we tend to break above 360, but we can't end up holding 360 or 320. Over here, we saw that happen again, but over here, we did break above 320 without breaking above 360. Just something to keep in mind. Now, there's really not too much going on in terms of patterns on this chart. Just a lot of wild swings, but no specific patterns really that are easily identifiable. So the next thing that we can take a look at is those moving averages, and we actually have 5 of them on this chart. We have the 10, 20, 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages. 100 period is blue. I'm sorry, the 10 period is blue, the 20 period is green, 50 period yellow, 100 period orange, 200 period red. So the moving averages are not looking great on this stock. We have the 10 period below the 20 period, which is below the 200. The only good thing is that the 50 and the 100 are above the 200, but aside from that, it's really not a great looking set of moving averages. We are downtrending. You can see that we've had lower lows here and here and here. Luckily, we did bounce up, and we did hold $2.70 today. So $2.70, pretty good support. As you can see, we've held it all along here, here, over here, here, a little bit over here, but we did break down. Then we held it here, and pretty much all along there, here, and here. So $2.70, really good support. But if 270 breaks, we don't have any real support until right around 220. But at the same time, 270 has broken on multiple occasions. But we had wicks that didn't quite get to 220. So what that tells us is that even if 270 breaks, we might find some intraday support that pushes us back to 270. But in terms of actual pivot points, the next hard support is going to be right at $2.20. The moving averages are not looking great, and I'm sure the RSI is probably not looking great either. Let's take a look at where we went overbought. Let's make that a little more fine. So we went overbought right there. This one we barely went overbought, but both averages did go overbought. And then over here, and over here as well. And over here. And we'll do one more. So you can see we had higher overbought, lower overbought, higher overbought, and now we're at a lower overbought as well. So this thing has some pretty wild swings on the one-day chart, but overall, if you look at the price range, you know, about $3.60 to about $2.70. It wasn't like the most volatile swings. It just doesn't seem to really want to make consistent higher lows or lower lows. So just judging by this chart, it looks like we might start bouncing up. You know, we tend to hold 270 and push to about $3, maybe the mid $3 area. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we see it start bouncing from here. At the same time, we are in an overall downtrend, but you know, it's not terrible. What would be terrible is if we had the 200-day average and then the 100, the 50, the 20, and the 10. That is the worst order, and we're not in that order. We do have the 100 and the 50 period above the 200 average, and the 200 average isn't really that far above our candles. It's basically trailing right along the $3 area. So I could see this trying to bounce up to about $3 and maybe getting denied at the $3 mark. Like we already saw, it did kind of dip at about 260, but it bounced right up to 270. So if there's one thing that we can say with certainty about this stock, it's that this stock loves the $2.70 mark. It's been there multiple times, and it loves to channel between 270 and 3. So, judging by the historical data, we could safely assume that it'll bounce at 270 and get back to $3 again. Let's kind of take a look at those averages when we were testing the $2.70 area, and we bounced. So a good example would probably be right around here. We tested 270 around here, and we bounced up to about 3. That red 200-day average was below our orange 100-day average, which it currently is. But the yellow period was below the 200 period, which is more bearish, and we still bounced a bit. The green and blue, the 20 and 10 averages, were below both, which they are now. So it was basically the same set of averages that we're seeing here, except even worse looking. The big exception is that we kind of consolidated here for a while, and we just recently got to 270. And we didn't really dip to 260 there. You know, we did here and here, but over here we didn't. And over here we absolutely have dipped right about 260 a few times. So it's tough to say, but if you take a close look, these 20 and 10 period averages are starting to curve. You know, they're not straight down like they were over here. They are starting to curve a little bit. So that is telling us that the overall average price here is trying to come back around, and we probably will see this scoop up and push to about $3 again. But keep in mind, if 270 doesn't hold, no hard support until about 220. But just judging from the past, we tend to find intraday support somewhere before 220. So even if 270 breaks, we might not fall all the way down to 220. The main reason why that happens is because here we pushed right up from about $2.20 all the way to about $2.70 to about $3. It was a pretty steady push, so we didn't really make higher lows and channel. We pushed right up and then fell right off, pushed right up. It's not like, for example, over here where we did make higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Just a strong push, so we don't really have those strong pivot points in between 270 and 220. It is just a straight drop off, and like I said, we do tend to bounce before them though, like we've seen multiple times. Even this candle didn't quite get to 220 before it bounced. There's not too much more to say. I do think that it is really trying to hold 270. The stock does love 270, and the next few days, let's see what it does. Obviously, we have Brexit right around the corner, so that's going to affect the overall markets. So unfortunately, that's not the best time for the stock to be testing its 270 support. But depending on how the Brexit goes and how the overall market goes, we might see this scoop back up. And then finally, of course, this isn't exactly a big, large cap blue chip company, so the overall markets are not really going to affect a stock like this nearly as much as they would, say, you know, Johnson & Johnson, Apple, Facebook, Netflix, Google, those kind of major stocks. So I think it's reasonable to say 270 definitely has potential to hold, and we just kind of need to see what it will do on Friday and maybe next week as well. So let's wait and see what it does. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave some feedback below. I will take a look, and I'll get right back to you. Catch you later.